UNC got a very big win emotionally in a rivalry in the standings of the ACC over the weekend against Duke. They stormed Franklin Street. It was a fun time, right? Everybody played their role well in the rivalry. Now they have to follow up that win against against Clemson. They have to follow up the win over Duke against Clemson would have been the appropriate way to say that the first time. Well, let's start at the beginning, right? The cool part about any rivalry is it's not just a game. No matter how many coaches tell you it's just one of many, oh, it's the same, oh, we treat it the same, oh, the players care the same, we prepare the same. It's not the same. You know it's not the same, I know it's not the same, and if you truth serumed them, they would know it's not the same. Right? It's bigger, it's cooler, it's part of why we love college sports. So the first step in kind of establishing yourself after the rivalry is moving on without a letdown. Right? You just had this very emotional, very intense, very rivalry-filled couple of days. You got the win. Now you can't have the letdown. Right? It's not like the rest of us, or actually, it is like the rest of us. You ever go on a vacation, then you need a vacation from your vacation to get ready to go back to work?
Absolutely.
You go to like a wedding for your buddy, and it's like, oh, I'm going to relax. I'm going to kick my feet up. You end up staying up till 3 o'clock in the morning every night. The last night you have an early flight, so you didn't go to sleep. You just get on the plane. You get home, and then you're like, you know what? I could really use a 2-day vacation to relax and recover before I go back to work. Well, after consider a rivalry game like one of those weekends, right? Your adrenaline's pumping for a bunch of days straight. All of your fans are talking trash in all their cubicles to all their friends, so they need you to back them up. Then you go into the game. It's go, 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 go the entire time. You finish, celebrate. Oh, by the way, you have Clemson on Tuesday. And you're going, wait, I think I need 2 days to recover from the 4 days I just had.
A Clemson team in the first matchup in the beginning of the season or early in the season was a very physical game when they played when they played on the road.
Matter of fact, that leads us into let's jump to the Hubert Davis clip talking about Clemson. Because now they're going into Clemson. This is not a pushover. Clemson might not be at the top of the standings, but here's Hubert Davis describing the quality of their opponent in the Clemson Tigers.
They're a very good basketball team. They're one of the better teams in the country. Just plain and simple, period, the end. We've already played them. They're always great defensively. They're physical. They're fundamentally sound on the offensive end. They can shoot from three, and they can also dominate points in the paint. Great offensive rebounding team, and Coach Brownell is one of the better coaches in the country. I just have so much respect for him and his program. Every year, the things that they do consistently is just amazing, and our full attention is on Clemson because it's deserving.
They are better than their record says they are. I've been saying this all year. Anytime you like PJ Hall, if RJ Davis didn't exist, PJ Hall would be right in the mix for ACC Player of the Year, even though Clemson's not winning games.
Absolutely.
He's averaging 20 points per game. He's top 10 in the league in blocks. He's top 10 in the league in rebounds, top 2 in the league in blocks, and he's doing so with a variety of options, taking almost 5 3-point attempts per game. So you're looking at Clemson going, they at least have the one guy that you have to really show up and play against.
They also know how to fight against teams. I mean, we saw it point blank when they played ncaa indoor. Matter of fact, in the past 9 days, 2 of those losses have come by a combined 2 points. 72-71 loss at Duke, and then a 66-65 loss versus Virginia. It's
almost kind of the perfect trap game because you come off the Duke win and you're riding high, and you see, like if we just bring up the ACC basketball standings, right? If we just go straight to it, you come off the Duke win, who, by the way, was second in the ACC standings when you played them, top 10 team in the country, and you see Clemson on the list, and they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11th in a 15-team conference. You might think, oh, perfect. There is the vacation after the vacation, right? We get a tune-up. That's not it at all. So I'm asking this question. Can Armando Bacot still be that dude in a game that doesn't have the artificial juice of UNC Duke? right? Most games you have to bring some of your own juice, right? It's BYOJ. You have to bring some of your own energy, BYOE, right? Most games you have to be, for lack of a better term, the thermostat rather than the thermometer. You have to go in and control the temperature. The Duke game is one. It doesn't matter if you set the thermometer on the wall to 60 degrees, 70 degrees, 75 degrees. It's going to be 112 in there. You don't have to bring your own energy to that game. The arena will supply it. The rivalry will supply it. So Armando Bacot in the Duke game played like the Armando Bacot many have hoped would emerge this year. 25, 10, and 5. 25 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists. That's great. And even more than that, bullied Kyle Filipowski. Can you do that when the energy isn't supplied? Right? Can you do that when you have to bring it yourself? I also wonder this about UNC. If they're not just going to settle into, right, the middle of the road ACC games, that's where we just give it to RJ Davis.
Yeah.
He handles these by himself, right? Bacot's like, this is light work. I let my guy take you. Right? This is light work. I let my guy RJ Davis have this one. Because against Duke, he went 5 for 14 in the game. Not great. And it was the second time in the last 7 that he didn't reach 20 points scored. But he has been the engine, particularly through these types of games. And you know what? I got to be honest. I've led you astray on this segment.
Okay.
I skipped over a bullet point.
Bring me back in.
Defense.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm talking about. When it comes to North Carolina, it starts with defense. They have to lean on their defense. These are the games that they have to lean on their defense. Coming out of a big rivalry game, you might roll out of bed a little groggy, but when you get to game time, you have to be able to, like if you get to choose, I'm going to expend my energy on offense or defense, you start on defense. It's important for UNC to remember they weren't always a top 3 team in the country. Right? Early in the year, they did lose back-to-back games. Early in the year, we did have question marks about their team. And the thing that answered all of those questions is they started on the defensive side of the ball. They started locking down the three-point line. Right? There were teams shot 5% from 3 against them. And it was like, that's kind of crazy. That must be a bad shooting day. Until you recognize that the team the week before shot 12%. And the team the week before that shot 19%. And it's like, oh, actually, they're just unbelievable at guarding the 3. Duke did put up 84 points. That's a lot. But in a rivalry game, kind of everything gets thrown out the window, right? You throw out stats and you just go find a way to win. They scored 93. You give up 84, it's not bad. Against Clemson, a team that can go, a team that can score, you can't give up 84 points. Your defense has to lock in. Clemson puts up a decent amount of threes. UNC limits threes. Rock, hard place, right? Duke was a team that shot a lot of threes and shot them very well coming into the game. UNC made them a not great three-point shooting team. They have to do that again.
And remember when the first time North Carolina played Clemson on the road, they limited Clemson's three-point shooting by a lot, held Clemson to their lowest shoot-point percentage of the season so far.
And obviously that starts with guys like P.J. Hall, who I mentioned takes a bunch of threes, guys like Joe Girard, who takes a bunch of threes. You know, right? You know the task at hand. Show up and take care of business. You're the number 3 team in the country. Number 4 is losing. Number 5 is losing. It's carnage at the top of the AP poll all year in college basketball.
Kansas just lost last night.
Yep. Kansas, I think Houston lost too, right?
Yep.
Like these are big games, and survival is the necessary thing. Don't get flashy. If it's RJ Davis, Armando Bacot, Harrison Ingram, and defense, that's a formula that I'm excited about. Right? It's the equivalent of, if you have Christian McCaffrey, give him the ball, right? Hand it off to him. Make sure he ends the game with his 20 to 25 touches. If you have Harrison Ingram, make sure he's rebounding. Make sure he's defending and using his versatility. If you have RJ Davis, get him his shots up. Don't let a game like this turn you into something you're not. Don't let the letdown after a big win turn you into something you're not. Speaking of the letdown, this is a clip I wanted you to hear. Hubert Davis was asked about getting the team past the Duke win, which is really what this entire segment has been about. Here's Hubert Davis.
I always give them, thoughts of the day every day. I send them stuff from through text, like stuff I see, like motivational stuff on Instagram. And, there was one thought of the day about, it's not all said and done until you've, done everything that you can do and you've said everything that you can say. And one of the things that we talk about all the time is there's more to be done and there's more to be said. And so, I think you should feel good about where we are now, but that's it. I mean, there's so much more room for improvement. There's so much more to be said.
I would pay money to be on his motivational text chain. I want to see what Instagram quotes Hubert Davis is sending to the team on a daily basis.
What songs is he sending them?
Is it songs? How funny would that be? Game day, you're getting like lose yourself. When you're going up against Clemson and you know how physical it was last time, you get knuck if you buck. Just sent directly to your group chat from your coach. I want to see what that is.
Hubert strikes me as a fan of gospel music.
Oh, you think he's doing that? I listened to JJ Redick's podcast. He's described that he's a big fan of crescendos post games or pre-game, so he listens to like movie scores to like the ramp up and then maybe that's what he's sending. Little Harry Potter music. Maybe not.